technology, they expect to invoice over $300 million of services this year through its offices in Latin America. These are not offices servicing India. Very often they're servicing the US or other countries from Latin America. So it's Indian minds, software, technology, and business practices bringing value added to Latin American economies and connecting you to third countries. And this is something that you've been encouraging them to think of doing in Colombia as well. Many of our other Indian software companies have begun moving into Latin America, and Indian firms already employ hundreds of Latin American IT professionals to meet the needs of customers in this region, but also in the US and Europe. There are several pharmaceutical companies present all over Latin America. We are proud of the fact that we make good, reliable, generic pharmaceuticals far more cheaply than other countries in the world. And one of our companies has created 3 manufacturing plants in Latin America, in Brazil and Mexico, perhaps one day in Colombia. This is something which every one of us needs, is easily affordable and reliable medication. Our Indian state railway company, Aircon, is poised to carry out railway projects in your neighborhood, in Ecuador, in Brazil, in Venezuela, and even in Uruguay. There are, of course, also cases of Latin American companies present in India, and we want very much for this connection to grow with official patronage. We are encouraging this in dialogue with various regional organizations, Mercosur, the Rio Group, CARICOM, and IPSA, the India, Brazil, South Africa. We have said today in meeting the Vice President how pleased we are that he's going to be leading a Colombian business delegation for the India-Latin America conclave at the end of April in New Delhi. This is a conclave specifically designed to promote business opportunities for Latin American business people in India and to expose Indians to the opportunities available in Latin America. And the fact that the Vice President can come with many Colombian business people is delightful. We hope that the opportunities that really exist for mutually beneficial partnerships will be fully explored. We've also already signed a number of bilateral agreements, memorandums of understanding to promote further trade and investment during our countries. When the Foreign Minister was in November in India, we concluded a bilateral investment on trade promotion and protection, and even an MOU for cooperation in bamboo technology. That may seem trivial, but in fact bamboo is a very major instrument in the building industry in India and increasingly in the world. There are wonders created by the Colombian architects Simon Velez with bamboo. And we would love to have him go and work in India. He will give us some South-South cooperation and send him to us, because we have the bamboo and we clearly have the brains, so we can get together and make it happen. But there is a tremendous potential there, and the agreement is one way. Today we've just signed an MOU for cooperation on health matters, which will certainly open opportunities for research in health, medicinal practices and products. I was delighted to hear from President Uribe how interested he is in alternative forms of medicine, particularly traditional Indian medicine. So there's a great deal of opportunity for cooperation here. And India has always had, going beyond Colombia, an interest in supporting capacity building across Latin America. We have an international technical and economic cooperation program, RITEC, which provides hundreds of Latin Americans every year with fully paid scholarships to the finest educational and technical institutions in India. As well, we found visiting professors and technicians in this region. I'm delighted that Colombia has been taking advantage of these scholarships, 25 a year, and we've just raised the number to 35 in view of the fact that there is such interest in Colombia. We also expect to see greater cultural expressions through links between universities, greater attempts at establishing linguistic capabilities. I'm afraid our Spanish in India leaves a lot to be desired. So that's why I'm addressing you in this other colloquial language. But I'm certainly hoping that we will have more Spanish teaching and language interaction between Latin American countries and India, as well as with Spain, of course. And we would like our business people to be able to come here and communicate in your language. We would certainly like more tourism. It would be nice to have young Indian backpackers coming and traveling through your lovely country, and we would welcome many of yours coming to ours. There's a lot of interest in both sides. And as I've already mentioned earlier, while Annie was away, a great level of political understanding and cooperation, which I think is also an essential aspect of our relationship. So, to wrap up, and speaking of India and Colombia in perspective, I would say that this has been a multifaceted bilateral relationship. I was here to mark a sort of valedictory moment, a culmination of 50 years of our diplomatic relations since formal relations were established in 1959. But we have really not come in a purely retrospective mood. I want to assure you, and I have assured the Colombian government, that our focus is very much on the next 50 years. We hope that today will merely mark a punctuation mark in the process that will carry forward with a great deal of enthusiasm, perhaps even greater enthusiasm than in some of the earlier decades of these 50 years. Let us say, to build on this relationship, to deepen our cooperation in all the areas that your President identified this afternoon: minerals, hydrocarbons, health, science and technology, space, perhaps, satellites, energy. There's just so much that we can do together. And of course, it'll only work well, with regular people-to-people partners in our two countries. Culture, education, more exchange of intellectuals. It's wonderful that the book that we're about to release has Colombian academics and scholars writing so knowledgeably about India. I wish we had enough Indians who could write so knowledgeably about Colombia, but that day would come. Academics, the media. I think there's a great deal of mutual education and appreciation that is dawning when we want to develop. I also want to congratulate the Colombia-India Foundation for taking an extraordinary initiative and putting together the facts, the thoughts, the ideas of our two countries. So really, when one feels standing here in Colombia, a tremendous sense of excitement, of the potential of possibility for the years ahead. And I say this not oblivious to the challenges we both face, not unconscious of the dangers we face as well, but confident of our determination, our proven track record in facing these challenges and in overcoming those dangers. And I'm confident that together we will build a strong partnership, one which I believe in both our interests will take both India and Colombia forward well into the 21st century. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Antes de concluir el presente acto, yo quiero invitar al doctor